Hey everyone, welcome back to CFC. I hope you're well, I hope you're good, and the Blues are back, and it's time to preview our game against Manchester City, the Giants. On this channel, I love to cover Premier League and talk about my club as well, Chelsea, and we are facing the Giants Manchester City this Sunday. So please, before I start, just a humble request, and if you can like the video, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon. Your support really means a lot. And in this, I put the chapter so you can watch accordingly. But if you can watch the full video, it will mean a lot. So first of all, coming on to our opponents, Manchester City, and again, as always, they're having a very good season, and they still haven't hit their second or third or even a fourth gear. They're still going very nicely. People are forgetting they've had Rodri out for 3 games this season due to the red card he got against Nottingham Forest. Yes, it was his own mistake, but they have had Rodri out for 3 games where they struggle. They've had Kevin De Bruyne out for the most of the season, and still they're nicely at the top of the league. They're doing well in the Champions League. Haaland is not having his best season and still is one of the top scorers in the league. And Bernardo Silva has been a fantastic season. Doku has been a fantastic signing. And this side is only going to get better and better. Defensively, Guardiola, they're only looking more stronger defensively. So they are an absolute difficult team to play. There's no doubt one of the best run club in the league. Coming on to us, Chelsea, and we have had a chaotic transfer window, but I think overall a good transfer window in terms of clearing a lot of players, bringing new players, and again, it's been a lot of upheaval or changes. We have not played as bad as the results show. We should have been higher in the table. We have played much better football, but as always, we haven't been clinical. We lost to Brentford 2-0 because we don't like to play low blocks, but once we get to play teams where we will have space, we do well. But let's not lie, the performance against Tottenham, leaving the win aside, the happiness aside, it was not a perfect performance. You can say the first 20 minutes were shite. After that, we had good 15 minutes period, 11-11 on the pitch for both sides. But after that, we struggled to break down 9 men before Jackson got the second goal. And Jackson could easily have had a double hat-trick. I've been saying on this channel, the boy needs time and support, and I'm always ready to give him. And I still believe he has a lot of potential, while many of the fans, they either go too over the top or they just absolutely downplay the player, which should not be the case. I think Jackson has a lot of potential, but he needs to be given time to develop. But I think we still have a lot to do in terms of goal scoring, be clinical, because any other team is putting 7 or 8 past Tottenham on that day. So coming out of injury news for both the sides, we again have the same 6 injuries we had last game week. No Nkunku, no Lavia, we have no Chukwuemeka, no Chalobah, we have got no Fofana and Chilwell. Well, Manchester City will have no John Stones and Kevin De Bruyne for this game, but other than that, the squad is fully fit and fine. So coming on to the starting 11 for both the sides. So first of all, going to Chelsea, and I think in this game, first I was thinking the manager might try to go with the shape that he went against Arsenal, because Manchester City are one of the best team in the league along with Arsenal. But one thing I do believe the manager might not do is I think manager does not want to put early Mudryk against Walker. I think manager will try to bring Mudryk in the end, like around 60-65 minutes to take on Walker, because right now Mudryk is very inexperienced. Mudryk had an horrific substitute appearance against Tottenham that day. So I think overall the manager will go again with mostly the same lineup. The goalkeeper is going to be Sanchez. I think at the right is going to be Hasbino James. But I think at the left is going to be Cucurella to handle Phil Foden. And then it's going to be Colville and Silva and not Disasi. And then I think it's going to be Caicedo, Enzo and Gallagher in the midfield, with Gallagher sometimes being a 2 forward or coming back. And then it's going to be Nico up top with Palmer and Sterling. And coming out of Manchester City, they're going to go with a regular 3-4 lineup. The goalkeeper, Edison. Then it's going to be Walker, Diaz and Guardiola. What a defense that is. Then Rodri and a former player, Kova, in the middle. What a midfield that is, especially with Rodri, one of the best midfielder in the world. And then you go on, it's going to be Phil Foden, Silva Alvarez a bit through the middle, and then Doku at the left. I think Grealish is overall, he did well against United. He can even play in this game. You cannot predict Pep Guardiola. But the chaos Doku brings is I think he will love to put Doku against James, Pep Guardiola. And if it doesn't work, he can always bring Grealish on, and striker is going to be Haaland. So before I go to the predictions, I do want to discuss on our last 4 matches against Manchester City at Stamford Bridge, and it's not a good reading. We beat them 2-1 under Super Frank when, City were not, the title race was not really going well, and we confirmed Liverpool being the champions. But since then, they have beaten us at Stamford Bridge. They beat us 1-3 when Super Frank was on the verge of getting sacked. Then they beat us 0-1 after we beat them in the Champions League final. They took the revenge. Bernardo Silva nicely sitting on the ground and celebrating the victory, because that showed that Manchester City are now back and they've taken the revenge of the Champions League defeat. And then last season, they came here as well and beat us 0-1 when Graham Potter was the manager and we weren't doing well. So they had really liked to come at Stamford Bridge now and play. So now coming on to the prediction C. Let's be honest, if you would have asked me, I was confident we can get a draw against Arsenal. Everybody on this channel knows that I said that Tottenham still have a lot of development to do and we can beat Tottenham. A draw is a good result, but we can beat Tottenham. In the Liverpool game also, I was still somewhat confident that the draw could be there. But this is the toughest team in the world we are playing, and especially one of the best defenses in the world we are playing. Because yes, we got a lot of spaces against Tottenham and we are not clinical. And against Liverpool, we got a lot of spaces. Against Arsenal, we got a lot of spaces. Against Manchester City, we won't get that many spaces because they are defensively much better than all the sides just near to Arsenal. But I think they're better defensively than Liverpool. They're better defensively, way better defensively than Tottenham Hotspur. So it's going to be really difficult for that. We have to take on Guardiola, Diaz, Stones. Sorry, not Stones in this match. Kyle Walker, Rodri, and I think if we even get one chance in this game, we need to put it into the back of the net, and I don't trust us to be that clinical. So we are playing one of the best defensive side in the league as well. They played Arsenal, and yes, they lost, but it was a Martinelli deflected goal that got the victory. They kept Bukayo Saka, Martinelli, mostly, I believe he's just started that game. I'm not fully sure. I can't remember on top of my head. They kept the Arsenal side at Emirates to 0 goals until 87 minutes, and they only conceded a deflected goal. That only shows how good they are defensively. Well, attackingly, Haaland is still not hit his foot and he's still scoring some of the goals in the league. He still has a lot of goals. Juan Alvarez is being really good. Bernardo Silva, for me, is one of the most underrated player in Premier League. What a player and what a season he's having. Then you've got Doku. Then you got Phil Foden as well. Even without De Bruyne, the quality is too much. And see, I want to be positive. I think we are going to give Manchester City a really good fight. If we beat Manchester City, I'm going to come on this channel on the post-match, celebrate the victory like never else. But being very honest, this is one game that I just can't see us winning. If we do, I'm going to celebrate. I love this club. And whether we win, whether we lose, I believe in the game. When the match day is there, I'm going to go there with a belief we can beat them. And this is why I'm waiting for this game, because you want to take on the best, and Manchester City are that. But when you have to give predictions, you need to be neutral, and I just can't see us beating them. They're so strong defensively, we aren't clinical, and this is why I'm going with a repeat of last season. I think it's going to be Chelsea 0 and Manchester City 1. We are going to do well, but I think we are going to lose narrowly. That is my prediction, my preview. Please, people, do like, subscribe, support the channel. Thank you, and wishing you the best. Thank you.